Greetings, comrades. This is Gaming Caleb, back with another retro game video, and you can't get much more retro than the Atari 2600, can ya? Yeah. Yes, this is my first Atari 2600 video, and my experience with Atari 2600 games is I played compilations that does this Activision anthology for the PlayStation 2, but I also played one even earlier than that. There's like a Activision Classics compilation, I forgot what it was called, for the PlayStation 1. And it had several Atari games made by Activision, including this one here. This is Chopper Command. And put it simply, it's basically a reskin of Defender. You basically defend your convoy against enemy aircraft and I think tanks and stuff. I don't know, it's been a good minute since I played this game. So this is going to be an interesting trip down memory lane. I just need to figure out the controls, because I don't think I played any Atari 2600 games on the Raspberry Pi yet. So let's try it out, shall we? I mean, how hard could it be? It's just one button. You basically defend your convoy against enemy aircraft. And you get points depending on how many vehicles in the convoy are still alive. Yeah, listen to those wonderful beeps and boops. So yeah, all you kids out there, this is what gaming was like in the 80s. 40 plus years ago, this is what it was like. Granted, I was born in 88, so I was still born too late to appreciate Atari 2600. In fact, I don't think... Oh yeah, funny thing about the Atari 2600, it doesn't have a pause. So I had to pause this way to do that. Because if you press start or home button, it restarts the game. So it's pretty much reset. Because yeah, Atari 2600 games, I could talk. Because I try to talk fast. I can't say Atari 2600 really fast. But anyway, yeah. They didn't have pause buttons. They didn't introduce those in Atari 5200. And we all know how that went down. If you watched AVGN, you know. But yeah, this is what gaming was like 40 plus years ago. It was a much simpler time. Everyone that I appreciate a lot more these days, you know. No huge ass downloads, no DRM, no unnecessary DLC, or digital games being removed. Back then, even like in the early 360 days, you bought the game, you had the whole experience. But back in the 80s and 90s and even early 2000s, it was a simpler time, and in my opinion, a better time. I think some of y'all can agree with me on that. By the way, these Atari 2600 videos, don't expect them to be too long, because they're really basic games, especially nowadays, they're really basic. So there's not much you can say about them, unless there are some complex games, the Atari 2600, don't get me wrong. But it was mostly simple, you just had a joystick and a button, that was it. And there's only so much you could do with that. This is a basic game and I still suck at it. Still one more. Yeah, it's pretty much Defender. And the Atari 2600, the beauty of it, you know, Some of the shapes you can tell what they are. Some you have to use your imagination. Remember, this is the 80s. This is before the NES, which came out in the mid-80s, but you get my point. This is a much simpler time. Extra life. Yeah, I can use a thumbstick too, but I don't know. Somebody using the D-pad kind of fits here. Which, yeah, interestingly enough, some of you probably know this, but because the connectors for the controllers are the same, you could use a Genesis controller on the Atari 2600, which means theoretically I can use a Hyperkin Squire on an Atari 2600. I might have to try that if I ever get an Atari 2600. Might get an Atari 2600 Plus just to have another retro console lying around. Because like I said, sometimes you just want a simpler you just want a simpler gaming session. We don't have to worry about like what gun to use and what firefight, or you know, how much XP till you level up or anything like that. It's just you pick up a game and you play it. Okay, that was my fault. I wasn't paying attention. But I think as you progress, the enemies get faster. I believe your convoy vehicles too. God damn it. Yeah, there's no turbo here, so. But I do have my back button programmed to A. Let me just do that. And I died at the same time I say the convoy. Yeah, that was a terrible run there. Okay. And I think that'll do it for this video. Like I said, these Atari 2600 videos, don't expect them to be too long. It's Atari 2600. You can't get much more basic than that. Unless you do Magnavox Odyssey, which, yeah, I don't have the screen overlays for that. I don't think they'll fit on my, or stick on my, flat screen monitors. So anyway, that is Chopper Command for the Atari 2600. And this is I'm Caleb signing out. Y'all have a good day.